Hi everyone, welcome back to Caseborough. So today I thought I would make a pretty chatty video about two topics. One of them would be Booktube events that are happening here in the month of June that I'm excited to be participating in, and I will also be introducing some of the books that I am planning on reading this month. So first, I have a small boss to make. So here, where I live, an independent bookstore kind of hosted like a flea market for bookmarks designed by independent artists. So I got these three. So one of them is this. I think these were printed by watermarks, and not watermarks, but like watercolor paints. Yeah. And I have to say, these two, I got these two bookmarks because they made me laugh. Like, especially this one, the caption says insightful read, but from what we can gather, I think it wasn't only insightful, it must have been electrifying. And this one, the caption says heavy read. And who doesn't love fat cats, right? So these are the bookmarks that I got yesterday actually. And to go on to the Booktube events that I'm really excited to be participating in this month. The first one is actually a year-long readathon that I will be participating in. So it is called, I'm sure pretty cheekily, the hardest reading challenge that you'll ever do. And it's called like HRCYED in short form. I've kind of been like, watching over like the HRCYED challenge that Qwordy does. By the way, I will be putting links to all of these like challenges, all the videos that I'm referencing down in the description. I think actually the HRCYED challenge will be uploaded like on the 5th, so I will be uploading the link after the 5th. So look forward to that if you guys are also interested in participating in this challenge. So the HRCYED is like a year-long challenge, as I said, that Qwordy hosts every year. I think this is the third time that she is hosting it. And this is my first time participating myself. The challenge comes in kind of like a bingo board type of form, and each bingo space contains like a reading challenge. So like each bingo space has a reading challenge, so like you have to read not only one book, but like they have like a series of challenge in each bingo space. The one bingo space that I remember from that Qwordy had like last year was to read like longer and longer books. So like you had to read a book that was below 100 pages, 200 pages, 300 pages, and so on until you got to 700 pages. I thought I might participate in this challenge because while it is also a very challenging readathon, it also doesn't actually put a lot of pressure on the topics that you will be reading. So I thought it might be a really good way to challenge myself while also allowing myself to still remain a mood reader as I am. So that would be the first challenge. That would be the first Booktube event that I will be participating in from June to next June. And then the second Booktube event that I'm really excited to be participating in, and this is a month-long readathon, so this is a much shorter event. And this event is the historical fiction readathon that is going to be hosted by Shelley Swearingen. You have to read one or more historical fiction to participate in this event, and I'll just be reading just one historical fiction just because my TBR list is already too long this month. And the book that I will be reading is Catherine by Anya Seton. So apparently Catherine is about the historically significant marriage between Catherine Swynford and John of Gaunt, who was the Duke of Lancaster. This marriage was set to the context of War of the Roses, which is also very historically so significant, obviously. And I think this book will be perfect because it also fits into the keyword that Shelley has for this readathon, which is connection. Marriage is obviously a connection between individuals and also families usually. And also I'm guessing that in the politically fraught period of the War of the Roses, it is also a connection in some other ways as well. So that's how I'll be participating in Shelley's historical fiction readathon. And then finally, one more Booktube event. I don't know if this should be called an event, but like I'm putting like a call to action. So one of my favorite booktuber is Katie from Books and Things, and she has just yesterday, I think, put out a video that is responding to the recent the Guardian's recent 100 best novel list that they put out. And I thought the video was really interesting. Katie kind of talked about some of the books that she had read from the list and also some of the books that she's planning on reading. And then afterwards, she kind of put out a survey for booktubers and also watchers of Booktube to participate in, where you can kind of like put in your own top 10 list. I thought I might put out a call to action for you guys to also participate in. I think this would be a really great opportunity to kind of create like a huge database and see what kind of books that booktubers who are obviously booktubers and also watchers of Booktube who are obviously very enamored with books think are the very best books of all time. I've already kind of participated in the survey, and the survey will stay on until July 1st. So you guys have a month to kind of think about your top 10 novels and participate. And I also think that later in the month, I will be kind of making a video defending my own choices of top 10 novels. So look forward to that. And then next, I will go on to introduce some of the books that I'm planning on reading this month. So the first book that I am planning on reading this month, I am trying to cover up the logo of my local library just because I don't want to really expose my information online. So this is How You Lose the Time Warp. This is co-written by Amal El-Motor and Max Gladstone. This has very long been, this has really been on my TBR list for a very long time. So I was actually really excited to read this book. So I actually ended up reading and finishing it yesterday, but it was on my TBR list, so that's why I'm putting it here. So you guys can also kind of look forward to my review of this book, very short book, on my June wrap-up next month. And so to kind of like introduce it very briefly, this is a sci-fi novel that in which the two main characters are agents in a time travel war, and it is kind of like a romance novel, romance that blooms between the two of them. This novel is at least partially in epistolary form between the two main characters, and Amal El-Motor wrote one of the main characters' novel, and Max Gladstone wrote the other characters' not novel but letters. Yeah. And then the second book on my TBR list is not this whole volume, but like this volume is first movement of Anthony Powell's Dance to the Music of Time, and it contains 3 stories from that series: A Question of Upbringing, A Buyer's Market, and The Acceptance Word. And I'm planning on kind of like reading through the series. I've heard really good things about this series. I've also heard it kind of positively compared to Proust, and how he really describes the Parisian society well. And as a lover of Proust, In Search of Lost Time, I'm really excited to get into this novel as well. I also love character studies, and I also heard that this book, obviously, because it's a society description, it contains a lot of character descriptions as well. So I'm really excited about that as well. But for this month, I'll be reading the first novel of this series, which is A Question of Upbringing. And then I have Flights by Olga Tokarczuk. As you can see from this little strand like bookstore bookmark coming up here, I've already begun reading this. Again, this was a book that I was really excited to start reading. I hope the logo didn't come out here. This is the third book by Tokarczuk that I'm reading. I've already read Empysium and also Drive Your Plow Over Dead Man, which is a title that never fails to make me smile. It's such a good title, isn't it? Like, yeah, but Tokarczuk was a discovery for me last year, and I really love her language. I think she has a very unique writing style, and I think I'm becoming like a completionist on her works. I know that she's actually planning on she is actually planning her apparently not last novel according to her, and I know that there was like a controversy regarding her AI use. I still don't know how to think about that, just because I hate AI and I love Tokarczuk's writing. I will probably still be reading her last novel just to complete my reading of her whole works, and just because I love her writing. But yeah, that controversy made me very sad. But I am still very excited to be reading Flights by Tokarczuk. From what I could gather in reading 15 pages, I just started it like very late last night. I think this is called like this was called a novel, but I think it is also kind of a memoir. Just because like the main character has studied psychology in university, and I know that Tokarczuk has also done that, but I might be mistaken. So look forward to me talking about this book in June. And then I actually have one more physical book that I am planning on reading. So this was a book that was on my book haul video. I really need to read the books that I have first, so I am planning on just reading H.L. Mencken's Prejudice, A Selection. I'm really excited to be reading this book. I also don't know what to expect that much, just because this is the first book by Mencken that I'm reading. So really excited to get into this book. And then I also want to read Gravedigger's Daughter by Joyce Carol Oates. I am thinking that I will probably need to get the book either from my library or get it in ebook form, just because I don't have it on my own on my shelves. But I've always wanted to try out Joyce Carol Oates as an author. So yeah, that's and I've heard that that's a great book to serve as an introduction to Joyce Carol Oates. And then I have a bunch of Korean books here, and if you guys can read Korean, this will kind of serve as a spoiler. But so like I said, I'm kind of planning on my own project for my Booktube this month, and that project will be to introduce one of my favorite sci-fi Korean authors who again, as I said, if you can read Korean, this will be a spoiler, but I don't think I will be giving you guys her name yet. I am planning on reading all of her books that she has written until now, and then I want to and I want to use those books to like introduce to you guys the author that I won't be naming in this video. Yeah, and that's it for the TBR list for this month. I'm sure I won't be able to get to all of these books, especially if I am planning on finishing the mysterious Korean author project, since I'll be focusing on that mostly to just until the end of the month. But if I do, that would be really exciting. So yeah, bye and see you guys next week.